Hey guys, it's Mark, SmittyM14, and I just wanted to do a quick video. I shot a video yesterday, which is Saturday. Today is Sunday. Um, had some internet connectivity issues. I've had some this weekend. Yesterday was really bad. So that video didn't get uploaded to YouTube like I wanted it to. So working on it now. It's taking a little bit longer than normal. It's probably a little over 50% by now, I'm assuming. So hopefully that gets posted up today so you guys can check it out. I probably won't get this one posted today. Hopefully I can get this one posted tomorrow. But if you're watching this video and haven't watched the other one, I suggest stopping this video. Go check out the other one first, because this one's going to be basically adding on to what I talked about yesterday. And you're probably going to be like, well, shit, you talked a half hour yesterday about stuff. What'd you forget? Well, when I was editing the video, it's like, well, I wanted to add this and that. So I'm going to do it now so I don't forget by the next time I do a video. And I made notes. So you're going to see me look over because this is like take 6 of this video. And I was finding that all the takes were getting scrambled in my head and I couldn't remember, did I talk about that in this take or last take, or did I mention this twice now? So bear with me. First thing I want to do is want to talk about the question that Palmer had for me when I was doing shooting this shit with Smitty videos, which I think I did 2 of them before it was like, this ain't gonna fly for very long. And so I want to get that question answered for him because it's been a long time ago and shit, you might have forgot about it by now, Palmer. But so I'll answer that now. And for those of you that have not checked out Palmer's videos, he goes by Heresy Productions, and he does several different things. Great guy, really good insight into the hobby, and he does several different genres. So check him out, subscribe. It's going to be worth your time. So Palmer had asked me, and I don't remember the exact question, Palmer, so I apologize. But it was basically the content of it was what kind of airbrush do I use. So I'm fairly new to the airbrush scene, probably a year, if that. So what I wanted to do when I started airbrushing is I wanted something cheap, but not cheap quality. Something to get me started, something to get my feet wet, something, a beginner brush setup is what I wanted, and that's what I have. Now that I've kind of expanding my experience a little bit with it, I want to look into getting maybe a little higher quality airbrush to do some more detail work. But anyway, without rambling on too much farther, keep in mind, like I said, my airbrush experience is limited to this airbrush, which is the Neo for Iwata. It's a dual action gravity feed airbrush. It's not the cheap junk ones that you hear everybody complain about that they bought on eBay, but it's not a high dollar airbrush either. It's I would say it's on the low end of mid range, low to mid range. Can't remember the cost of it, but if you Google Neo for Iwata, it's Neo for Iwata, Awata, you'll see how much it costs. I would say if you're getting into airbrushing, this is a brush to seriously consider. I haven't had any issues with it. In fact, the only issue I've had is user error, which I forgot to clean it one time. I was airbrushing. My folks showed up at my house and I wasn't expecting them. And by the time I shut everything down after they left, I had forgotten that I didn't clean this. So it sat and it took a while to work out the issues with it to get it clean and working properly again. But it works fine. It's like any other brush, I guess, that's of quality. Keep them clean and maintain, and you won't have issues. But I use this for priming. I've gotten rid of rattle cans. I used to use rattle cans for priming, and then sometimes I was even using a paintbrush. And that's fine. The rattle cans, bad for your lungs unless you're using them outside, or unless you want to get high off of it, I guess. I wouldn't recommend it. Just eat your brain and your lungs. Um, but around here, with the temperature changes that we have, they're not as reliable. And actually, this is going to be cheaper in the long run for you, in my opinion. So I use this for priming. I use this for base coating, and I'm going to start using it for a little bit for terrain. And check it out. This is not a detail brush. I do paint vehicles with this. In fact, my Puma that you'll see in the last video, everything outside of the tires that was done on that vehicle, where it stands now, was done with this airbrush. The camel striping on it, airbrush. So, great airbrush for a beginner. Not going to get super detail. Good cost, good entry. And actually, if you want to airbrush, that's just going to do your priming and your base coating. And what I mean by base coating, for those of you that don't know what base coating is, or what I refer to base coating is, you prime your models, and then you hit your model with your base coat, which let's say for Germans is going to be whatever their uniform color is, whatever you're going to use for it. I use German Field Gray by Vallejo for mine. So you would do the model in that, and then you're going to go back and you're going to pick out the details with a paintbrush. I don't know if that's a new concept or it's becoming more popular or not. I really haven't looked at it before until I started doing airbrushing, and actually recently, because now I'm past, well, I just want to prime with stuff. I'm looking at more uses for the airbrush because I want to be more proficient. I obviously want to get a different airbrush to do more details. So it seems like a lot of folks use their airbrush for priming and then base coating and then pick out details with the paintbrush. So hopefully, Palmer, that answers your question. Neo for Iwata is what I currently use. I will be getting, and when I graduate to the next level of airbrushing and decide to break in and get a more higher quality airbrush, I'll probably get an Iwata is what I'm going to get. I don't know what kind yet. Haven't really looked at it. Air compressor wise, I use the Iwata Silverjet. I'm looking over there because that's where my paint airbrush booth is at right now. It's a tankless air compressor. I know a lot of folks are going to be like, oh my god, tankless air compressor, ooh, don't do it. I've never had issues with it. And people say the issues they have are no consistent air pressure is the main one. They overheat. Exactly. Those are the two main ones that I've heard complaint-wise. I've never had it overheat. Of course, I don't use it all day long. If you're going to airbrush all day long, then I don't know if I would go with that. But then again, you're beyond a beginner airbrusher if you're at that level where you're airbrushing all day. The airflow consistency has always been consistent when I've used it. It has a pressure gauge on there. It goes up to 30 psi, I believe, maybe 35, but I'm pretty sure it's 30. There's an adjustable knob where you can adjust the air pressure as you're using it. It's worked great for me. It's small. It's probably 8 inches by 8 inches by 8 inches in all, just roughly guessing looking at it. So it's a great air compressor for a starter or for somebody that's not going to airbrush a lot. I think the last time I did a major priming session, I did probably 60 minis and like 4 vehicles, because I was just like, I got the airbrush out, let's just prime a whole bunch of crap. And I never had issues with the air compressor. It ran fine. And I had to break down my airbrush a few times to clean it, because when you're running that black primer, even with airbrush flow improver, it still clogs up. So, but anyway, I mean, I ran it for several hours and no issues. It wasn't hot. It didn't give me crappy air quality or anything like that, air pressure quality. So hopefully, Palmer, that answers your questions. I guess one more thing about my paint booth or paint area. I did buy a paint booth. When I started, it was just newspaper draped over my workbench, and obviously that wasn't probably healthy for me. because it wasn't sucking the paint particles away. So now I bought a cheap one off of Amazon. Um, some people say they don't work that great, and some people say they work wonderful. I don't have an issue with it. I think the best clue of if you're getting stuff sucked into your lungs, if you blow your nose after you airbrush and it comes out black or whatever color you're airbrushing, then you got problems. And I haven't had that. The filter on that thing is turning black, so obviously it's sucking some paint particles out. So if you're interested in what paint booth it is, it folds up. You can actually put it away. It's got a expandable hose on it. It's got an L that you can put to a window. It actually stretches out quite a ways, probably 6 foot maybe. And then that one, the one that I have, it had an optional LED light kit, and I got that, and it lights it up pretty well, and it's got a turntable in there. Works. If you're interested, like I said, if you're interested in it, what the name is and what it looks like, I will either show you a video or I'll just put the name in the comments. So just, if you want to know, put a comment down below. So enough of that. Next on the list, update from yesterday. I'm not going to show them because I just did a dog and pony show of my German Grenadier Army, but I did do Army Strong Tone on the squad that I was working on in that video, so they look a lot better. Did put shoulder decals on all the NCOs. I'm not much of a decal person, never have been, even on vehicles. So that's kind of new to me, and I will tell you, holy crap, freaking crap. Putting shoulder decals on 28 mil infantry was interesting. Got it done though. They turned out really great. I won't show them now. I'll show them in the next video that I do. So that's done. So another squad done outside of the basing. I will. What I'm going to do is I've got 2 squads now: the officer unit, the mortar, and the sniper team. I'm just going to get those matte varnished all together, and then I'll go back and I'll do the basing like I made a comment in the other video. I won't go into detail about that. So now I've got 2 squads to go. Hoorah! And I did figure out what the issue was with my army list. So I do have a first lieutenant. I had to drop one of the AR guys, assault rifle guys, from one of the squads, and actually the 2 veteran squads are equal number wise now, so I don't have one that has an extra guy. Somehow I got that screwed up. I don't know how, but it's fixed. Same points, same order dice. So thumbs up, ready to go. Next thing is, I wanted to mention one thing. I brought up that I got a sonic cleaner with some gift cards that I got for Christmas from Amazon. And it wasn't a high dollar one. Go back to the previous video and you'll hear that conversation. So one other thing that I did with it outside of the airbrush cleaning is I wanted to experiment with it removing paint from minis. So these are 20 mil Vietnam. Let me get him in. So this is back when I started out and I was using craft paints for my paints, which aren't really good compared to Vallejo, obviously. So I have a bunch of these minis floating around. So I'm like, you know what? Let's see what happens with putting these in. They're acrylic paints, hobby paints. I don't think there's a varnish on them, because that's before I was smart enough to know that there is a, it's good to gloss varnish or actually matte varnish your minis. So I put 4 of these, I think, yeah, 4 of these in that sonic cleaner. I mixed half and half water and Windex, so window cleaner. I don't know what you guys call it over in the UK or outside the US. It's a non-ammonia window cleaner. If you want more information, I can put that down in the comments below, but hopefully y'all are familiar with that. Now I did let them soak for a little bit, and then I ran a few cycles. I don't remember how many cycles I went. I don't know how long I left them in there, yada yada yada. But here's the end result, and I haven't, obviously there's still some paint on there, but it took most of it off. The rest of it can be taken off with a toothbrush, or probably toothbrush, and just scrub them off. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of what the overall effect was. These were actually on basis too, so it took all the stuff off and everything. So you can see some paint. Most of it's oh, it didn't work too well, did it? Most of it's like in crevices and stuff, so you need the toothbrush to get it out. But it worked pretty good. The liquid in there was pretty grimy, so I'll be using this to strip. And I've used the mixture of Windex and water and let them sit. And I think I had to let them sit for a couple days. I got this result, in an evening basically, and it was multiple sessions of the sonic cleaner and everything else. So I'm gonna probably do that to get some more minis back to bare metal, so I can rebase them to do what I do basing wise now, and paint to the standard that I paint now in the types of paints that I use. So that was all I wanted to add in regards to the sonic cleaner. If you guys haven't thought about it now or before, give it a shot and see if you have one. The only reason that I thought about it was actually somebody had made a comment of they clean their airbrush with Windex and the window cleaner and mixture of water. I don't know how that would work for the gaskets and the seals in your airbrush. Don't know what that would have effect wise. I don't know if I would try that, but it made me think that I've used that before to remove paint from minis, and so I gave her a shot, and it works pretty darn good. So the last thing, I'm going to let you guys go. So one of the hobby goals and kind of like New Year's resolutions, I hate making New Year's resolutions because they always get broken. So it's not a New Year's resolution. I should have made it one because it got broke anyway. Was not to buy into any new game systems, and really not to add any miniatures to my lead pile, lead or aka plastic hobby wall of shame, shelf of shame, boxes of shame, lead pile, plastic pile. We all have them. We all know what the hell they are. Mine's huge. I've got boxes of these that I don't even know what's in them. In fact, I found a box that's chock full of 20 mil Vietnam figures that I didn't even know I had. But anyway, I broke the rule already, and I'm gonna blame it on Warlord. It's all your fault, guys. Quit making good stuff. My pocketbook does not like you, but I like you. So I pre-ordered Test of Honor. If you have not heard of Test of Honor yet, it is a samurai skirmish game. You can actually go to Warlord's website right now, and you can download the rules for free as a PDF. It's not the full rules, obviously, since they're coming out with the game pretty soon. But I think the only thing really missing from it are like advanced rules. I can't remember exactly, but the core rules are there, and they seem really simple and really cool. And by reading them, you're going to have really quick battles, and that's what they do say if you haven't read on it. Battles are quick, about an hour, very few models, and it's very deadly. And reading the rules, it looks like it's very deadly. And it's got a little bit of an RPG character building campaign system that you can do too, so it's kind of cool. I'm not really huge gung-ho samurai fan. Like, I don't have a shrine to samurai, but I've always been interested in that, and kung fu and martial arts. So that kind of checked that box. I think the box set was $50. That comes with pretty much everything to get you started. They do have like a bundled deal that's like $160 that has the starter thing and a bunch of expansions that was like, ooh, that's cool, but damn, that's a lot of minis. I got other stuff to do, so I want to check it out first, see what it's like. So that hopefully when that is released and I get it, it'll be something a little different for me, and do some videos on it. So if you haven't checked it out, if you're interested in samurais and skirmish level, go to Warlord's website, check it out. You can download the rules for free. This is not a plug. I don't work for Warlord. They didn't tell me to say this crap. But check it out. So anyway, that is it for this video. I don't know how long the video is. I apologize if it's way long and it was useless crap and you wish you wouldn't have watched it. Kidding. Hopefully it was entertaining. And anyway, as I always say, try to tell everybody, be good to each other, be supportive and helpful in the community. We have a great community for the most part, and everybody's supportive, and we don't bash on each other. And if we do, it's in good fun, which always makes life interesting. So, yeah, enjoy your hobby. Be good. Have fun, and we'll chat with you at another time. Take care, guys.